evening. Hope everyone's all right. Why did I do that? I just annoy myself straight away. Listen, it's been one of them days. I was thinking to myself, I hate being told what to do. And what's worse is when you then, there's a difference between being told what to do when you think you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. And then there's the times where someone tells you what to do, but they're really just telling you because it's in your best interest. And it annoys you, but it only annoys you really when you think about it because you know that they're right. So yeah, I'll give you a couple of examples just from today. So obviously I said I was going to try and stop caffeine. Clearly, I have not managed this. Tomorrow I'm going out first thing. I'm going to go and buy decaf. Because I actually just like the taste of coffee. That's just a bit weird, I know, but I do. So that's what I'm going to do. And the other one is smoking. Now, obviously, I know that it's bad for my health. But when you're like clinging on, you're like clinging onto it, like, come on, I've given up. I've managed to knock on the head so many other things. Like, please let me stay smoking, even though I know it's bad for me. I reckon that one, and it'd be hard as well in at this time, but I reckon I could do it. I'll just be a real bitch for the next 2 weeks, at least. Hey, what's new? Yeah. I don't know if I should. Can like thinking about patches and stuff like that, and then I think, well, if I'm going to do it, I may as well go cold turkey because the patches are just basically giving you nicotine still, aren't they? And that's actually what you want to get rid of. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I might just go all in. Might do. See what kind of next level nightmare I can achieve for everyone else. Look, the budget is. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow because yeah, there's a lot in there. Sorry, I'm going to do that more in detail tomorrow. So, but there was a few other things that I wanted to. I just thought as well about, I was saying about coding. Everyone should be doing coding. Kids should be doing coding from primary school because that's the way the world's going. So everyone should learn how to code. But it's also important that people over a certain age that aren't involved in sort of tech in that way. You can also learn to code. Because I saw a video. I mean, obviously this guy's very intelligent, but he managed to code in a couple of weeks. Well, at least to do a game. I don't know what the difference is between that and something else, to be fair. So, but the principle is there. If you want to get into technology, age is but a number. If you've got the desire to learn it and the motivation, and then you can learn anything you want at any age. Your brain doesn't just stop, does it? So then I thought, what about some kind of coding game for the whole family? So you're like learning code at the same time. I don't know, it's very in its infancy, that idea, but I just thought that might be a nice way to introduce coding, to make some kind of, I don't know, a game, yeah, like, you know, that you can play on a tablet, you know, like Yahtzee and stuff like that, and you can pass it around. Must be something. There must be. So there was that. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah. And this has happened to me. This is why I'm going to tell you about this. There's so much fraud going on at the moment. It is a joke. And they've just fully taken advantage of people during lockdown, even more than they were before. So my personal experience, I've had several random transactions on my bank account. So if you don't check your bank statements, I'd start checking them, because both me and my mum obviously doesn't even go out of the house. The only time she uses her card is online, and the only places that she uses it is on Amazon and shopping, a bit like food shopping sites. And she's had, just this week, a fraudulent transaction on her card in a place 150 miles away. And that's a brand new account, and the only time, as I said, the only time she's used it is on Amazon or like Morrison's or Asda or whatever for shopping, food shopping. And both of those you would think are encrypted. So something somewhere is breaking down, and people are being able to hack into those sites, because she hasn't ordered anything from anywhere else, and that is a brand new account. So there's nowhere else that they could have got a bank details. She didn't leave the house. So the first thing is, start, if you don't check your bank statements, because I know a lot of people that don't, and to be fair, I didn't either. It was only because I knew that I'd gone to buy something and my card got declined. I was thinking, hold on a minute, I know there's supposed to be money in there. And I had the same. It was the same day that I'd had fraudulent transaction on mine as well. So the first thing is start checking your bank statements, because you can claim that money back as long as you report it. And you can't just report it to the bank. You've also got to report it to the Financial Conduct Authority. Financial Conduct Authority. So your bank, Financial Conduct Authority, and Action Fraud. So I'll put the links in for those. The other, so that's that type of fraud. And the thing is, though, they start, and I know this because I went out with somebody who's a criminal, and they're all involved in cyber fraud. And I know exactly how these criminal organisations work and how they do it. So they'll start by just taking a penny or something to see if there's money in there, and then they'll just increase so they'll, like, on a monthly basis, they'll take £5, next time £10, and they'll just keep going up and take, just to see if they can keep, how much they can keep doing it. And they'll do it from your paper, they do it from anywhere. And unfortunately, this is another scenario where we just need to take our head out of the sand, be like, we need to deal with this. And the only way we can deal with it is by catching it and reporting it early. And also that means you get your money back. But when we're distracted and whatever, and we're not checking, we're also not reporting, and you're also not getting your money back. But they need to be reported so they can be tracked, so they can be caught. See? And then there was another thing here for, it's called a company called OFC Markets. Shame on you, motherfuckers. There was an old chap who had, and this exact thing has happened to me, and I'll tell you the name of the one that it had. I'll get it in a minute. The one that I did, and it was at the beginning of lockdown, and I suddenly just started getting loads of, again, phone. This is another reason not to have a phone, not to use a phone. It's just a total waste of time, because more than that, 95% of the people that phone you are just going to be trying to rip you off. Straight facts. Yeah, I do not answer my phone. I'd rather not have a phone. And I'm going to be honest with you. I've come off social media and I'm so much happier because of it. I would rather not have a phone. I've become so funny. I'm just cool. Chill. I don't need to speak to anybody. I've got shit to do. So yeah, all of the phone calls that I receive, pretty much, I don't like answering phone numbers I don't know. And I'm one like that'll go, well, I'll leave it to see if it goes to voicemail. Because if it's an important phone call, it'll go to voicemail and they'll leave you a message, or they'll send you a text message, or an email, whatever. Because if people got your contact details and it's a work, or it's in, that's how it will go. So, because you've got to remember your phone number and all that. This is data that's being collected that is just being sold constantly. So you're just being battered by potential scammers. That's how you need to look at it. Every single phone call. So I had 10 calls, only 10, not very popular. I had 10 calls today, and all of those calls didn't leave a voicemail or text or email or whatever. That's my point. Because if it was important, they would. It's just as simple as that. So I've just immediately blocked all the numbers. But no, man, I'm not falling for that, because I have fallen for it. That's why. So going back to this, OFC Markets. Shame on you. So this old chap, he's obviously retired. He's got a little bit of money, not a lot. This is back during lockdown, but last year. And it was a 250. I've done this exact thing, and the same exact things happened with the company that I did with it. So it was, invest 250 quid, and then, they've got their bots or whatever, and, they'll set up your automatic trading and blah, blah, blah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not tarnishing the whole of this market, because I'm sure there are some unscrupulous ones out there. At least I pray that there is. And yeah. So he invested, I think, initially it's 250. And then obviously he's getting battered from the account manager like every other day, going, oh yeah, we've got 400% return in the last 2 days. Like, same stuff that I had. So then he was like, oh wow, amazing returns. So, and it's not, because this exact thing happened to me. So I'm literally laughing at myself, like, what would, and I've done some stock market training. I even know how it works, and I still fell for it. Like, what? Anyway, so he invested some more money. He invested another, I think it was another 10 grand. And then obviously the guy, same thing, like within a couple of weeks or a month or whatever. Oh, it's gone up to 20 grand or less time than that. So overall, he put in like 80 grand from 250. And he went to withdraw 10 grand. Because he just wanted it for something. Because the premise of these things is that once you can just use it like a bank account, you can just put it in and out. So went to withdraw it, and they were like, yeah, you get it within 3 to 5 days. And he's obviously still waiting. Now, he reported it to, that was it. They hold you hostage is essentially what they're doing. They're holding you hostage. And I'll explain why. So they've got the money. They've got the money now. So he's obviously trying to get it back. So then they said, well, in order to get it back, now we're going to have to charge you another £7,000 for fees and what. So he pays £7,000, and then they say they haven't got it. And they won't release his money until he pays £7,000. He paid it again. This is what I'm saying. They're holding your money hostage, and then they're denying that they're receiving the next lot of money. So he then obviously went to, at the moment, this is the dangerous thing, because their registered offices aren't in the UK. So they're this is how they get away with it, because then they're an international company. So they don't have fall within our regulations. So they can't even do anything about it. So this guy has not seen a penny of his 80 odd, well, plus the extra 14 grand that he paid in charges, that they both times they said they still didn't have it. They just refused. They were like, no, we haven't received your like whatever they wanted to call that payment. So they're absolute mercenaries. Anyway, the financial conduct, I still can't say it. What is wrong with me today? Conduct Authority said that there's an online, I'm talking to you, Gov. Not that you listen to the people, but we'll give it a go. There's an online harms bill which is about to go through. Before it passes, could you please add, because it's not too late, it's never too late, it's not passed yet, add in these kind of mother, so that people can get their money back. They need to have a method by which they can get their money back from these absolute arseholes. And they're taking advantage of people during a crisis where, come on, do something good, please. So mine was not anywhere near as bad. I did the 250 and realised very quickly that I had made an error of my ways, and I'm still waiting for mine, and that was from March last year. And they did the exact same thing. Oh no, we've paid you it. I was like, well, no, you haven't, because it isn't in my bank, and I know how long it takes to do it, and on like a bank transfer. So I was just like, that's cool. And I said, that's cool, I'll report you to the police. So I did. I sent an email round. I've searched everybody I possibly could. I was like, right, press, fraud, Conduct Authority, cybercrime, the National Cyber Centre, Metropolitan Police. I was like, right, I'm just going to email everyone, including the people from the company. I was like, these motherfuckers have stolen my money and will not give it back to me. Do something about it, please. So needless to say, I had a phone call very shortly after that from the woman who'd set up my account. Like, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You're so out of order. So like, excuse me? I'm out of order. You've got my fucking money, love. she went, she was like, "You got to speak to my manager." The manager of this company come on. It's like, "You're taking food out of my kids' mouths. I'm gonna lose business." I was like, "Well, don't be a corrupt cunt then. Like, seriously, give me my money back." And it's not about the number, it's the principle. Like, what kind of business are you? You just literally take, and you're clearly not doing anything at all. And their advertising was on, where was it? Might have been LinkedIn. And I was like, wow. See, this is how dangerous it is. All of it, the whole. So yeah, needless to say, I'll carry on naming shaming that so and so, because I don't even care about the money. I want them that I want the company to get it to, you know, like, what if how many other people is it done it to? How much has that one? OFC Markets, how much have they taken that they're not paying their customers back? You don't know. It sure as shit won't be I'm the only one, or he's the only one, because there's 6 trillion in cybercrime fraud. 6 trillion. It's a lot. So I do love a rant. Yeah. So that was just what was they saying? Online harms bill. Yes, please, if you could change it so that people around the world, well, obviously in the UK, but you know what I'm saying, other countries take note. God, it's no point. Like, no wonder there's 6 trillion if there's no means or method for us to actually take these people to court to get the money back. They're just sitting there like we're fucking ATM machines. Take. They are laughing their fucking heads off at us. They're going, "Oh, they're so stupid." Like, little fuckers. Right, sorry, side note. What was I talking? The next one. Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna be really honest with you. Because being brutally honest is just the best. And it's not to you, I'm telling you a story about me. Just so that, there's a reason to it. It's about drugs. And the reason I'm telling this story is because drug addiction is so rife everywhere. And the reason this came to my mind is because I watched briefly just downstairs about the meth problem in Thailand. And all of those kind of drugs, they're destroying lives everywhere. Now, and this, people need to just know that wherever they are right now, however low in that you are, that you can get out. You can. And this is the point of my story. And this is people are going to hate me, but I don't really give a shit. I'm just being honest. So obviously, if you've seen other videos, you'll know my other story. You know, a bit I think from this morning. So I've got 2 older brothers that are 10 and 12 years older than me. And they've never really been around, so it's basically like I've been an only child. and I don't speak to them, not through lack of trying on my part, but you know when you get to like 30 and you're like, I've tried for 30 years, may as well give up now, like they ain't interested. You know what I mean? So I've basically been on my own. They weren't around when I was younger because they were off boarding schools and universities and what. And something happened to me when I was 9. When I was 9, and then after that, my parents had money and stuff, and I was just spoiled, really, little shit. And I ate my emotions is the best way to describe it. And I just put on loads of weight. And then I started hanging around. When I was 13, and then that's when I first realised I was the size of a whale. And that's when I started becoming bulimic as well. But at the same time, I was also hanging around with much older people. And that's when I had my first pill at 13. How long was that? And I had speed and tried a few. This isn't like a drug top drugs in any way. Like, I'm not proud of it, but it's it's. I'll go through, and then I'll tell you. So I'd done that. Then I tried, obviously, because I was hanging around with these older people, and these older people were just. Oh, hold on a second, sorry. So these older people were. This was just what they were doing. And so I tried like speed and whatever. Then I tried cocaine when I was about 18. Then I went to Africa for a year, so it was drug free there. So then came home and then was really because my friend was going out with a coke dealer. So pretty much from then on, that was bad times. So yeah, this is in no way. I've done it, but I've gotten off it, and I never want to go back to the levels, like, because the thing is, I tried like DMT and Changa and LSD and all of that mushrooms. I mean, but I mean nothing. And if I look back on my life now, like, it's got me into some fucking trouble over the 39 years. You think at the time it's a great idea. And I've had a whale of a time, don't get me wrong. I've had a whale of a time, but I've also wasted so many years. So many. And I'm annoyed with myself because it's just a total, I suppose it's I suppose I wouldn't, in on one hand, I'm thinking, no, I wouldn't change my life because I wouldn't be who I am now. Maybe all of those things, all of those experiences, good, the bad, and the ugly, had to happen to kind of get me to this point, because had it not been for those, maybe I wouldn't have these realizations. So it's a tough one. I mean, logic says it was a massive waste of time and money and energy, and gosh, where would I be if I hadn't have done it? Yeah. So really, ultimately, my point is this. All of those things there, people can obviously have different opinions on what. Oh, they you've already got, remember, don't forget, you've got a little fucking demon in there already, champing at the bit. Do you know what I mean? Any possible given opportunity to be like, yep, I'm coming out to play. Like, no. Right? In there, 24/7 at you. That fight goes on. So you've already got that battle as is. Then you add that in, any of those kind of things into the mix. Yeah, that is like opening up the gateway to hell and just throwing yourself in it. It's like willingly throwing yourself in. Devil is there just chuckling away to himself like, haha, I've got you now. Like, that is straight up what it is. Because then it takes over. And the devil convinces you, or your demon convinces you that, and that's the, you know, that you need that you want to do that you want to, and then it's everything as well. So it's drinking, going out, doing all of that, partying, concert. Like I've been to 1 year at Glastonbury. I slept for about an hour, and I was there for a week. Like, I'm not even joking. When parties I've performed at, like, when I've done burlesque and fire and stuff at mansion parties, and it's been up for days. What a waste of time. And then it's not just that though, because then afterwards you feel like shit for you need like a 2-week layover just to recover. So you just wasted 2.5 weeks of your life. So yeah, I think where was it? Yes, and then basically your demon's taken over. You're no longer in control of yourself or your decision making in any way. And just everything will go to pot. Everything will go to pot. Every possible decision from that point, you can guarantee you're going to make the wrong one. Guarantee. So it's just not worth it. And I'll tell you what as well, and I can say this for an absolute fact, because yeah, I have had a joint. Oh, not today, but I have had a joint since. But I've stopped because of this, and I feel so much better for it. And actually, the feeling of beating, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm a competitive person, but I think this is a feeling that everyone gets. I don't know. I haven't spoken to loads of people about this. I'm talking to you guys. So the feeling that I get is far superior to any high that I've had before in my life. And it's not a high in that sense. It's just a different state of consciousness of like, yes, winning. I know I did describe the feeling the other day, but it is that you feel better, you think better, you make better choices, you progress further, you do more stuff that you want to do that is purposeful and has meaning. You're actually achieving. You're not just, because that's the negative spiral. So ultimately, where I was going with this is, if you are in this dark place, you can get out. And I know it feels like you can't at the time. And like every other addiction there is, it's hard to be told because you don't want to hear it. But it's only being said because I care. You know what I mean? I'm not being condescending. I'm not being judgmental. I'm saying it is better on the other side. So while you think you need it and you're chasing that high, and the worst thing, and you need more and more and more of whatever it is you're taking, and that's the same thing on any addiction. You need more and more and more and more to feel the original effects, I suppose, essentially. And it's all to do with science and dopamine and stuff. And I'll just put a link to somebody who knows way more about this than me, who can explain it far better. Because it's all just chemicals in your brain and your mindset, and then your pathways and all of this. As I said, I'm not going to explain this. I shall put a link in to someone who can explain it far better than me. But you can do it. You can. You can. If I can, you can. And there's so many people online, or courses, or motivational things that can help. But I promise you, and it's so, it's that facing, because you're just trying to sort of, I suppose escape yourself is probably, or escape the situation, escape the reality of things. It's also numbing or trying to deafen out that inner voice that as soon as you sort of sober up or come to, or whatever it is, that inner voice is going to be like, oh, you fucking idiot. Why'd you do that for? And you don't want to hear it. So that's why you have another drink or do whatever it is to drown it out again, numb it. You don't want to deal with the fundamental problem or emotion or situation. But like with everything else, the truth is so much better. Dealing with it in the moment. As soon as, dealing with those problems. Once they're dealt with then. And not that you're not going to stick, but you feel better for just having the courage to face that fear, face, emotionally unpacking those situations or emotions, being like, right, well, why do I feel like that about that? And like going through them and dealing with them one by one. And once you've kind of dealt with them and filed them where they need to go and understood why you had that emotion in the first place, and then put yourself in a situation as best you can where you're just not around anything or anyone that is going to trigger you, to do that. And there's no better time than now. Although obviously lockdown's coming. But there is no better time because nowhere's really open. You can just get away with being a hermit at home. There's nothing wrong with that. And just try and do other things. And trust me, it gets easier. Throw your phone away. Delete all the numbers that you don't want, that you shouldn't have. Whatever it takes, literally, whatever it takes, you've got to do it. If you want to feel better, which you 1,000,000% will, and not just better, not like to the same level as before, but better. And it gets better every day that you beat your demon. It's like winning the Olympics. That's how I feel anyway. Like, yeah, running around the house. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, I've got other ones in there. I've got a long list of demons. I did, just before I came up here to do this, I had a sausage sandwich. Now I've got a problem. I've got a food issue, and I have that. You're always recovering bulimic, right? So I have a problem with food, and I have to try not to eat too much. Firstly, because I find it knackers me out anyway, but also it's just a mental thing for me. And as soon as I've eaten something, I immediately feel guilty for eating it. And then I feel like I look like an elephant. And it's just as, again, see the spiral. And then if you're not careful, you don't catch it, you don't deal with it in a minute, then before you know it, you want to have a drink, sit and just slob on the sofa and feel sorry for myself, etc. And down it goes. So you've just got to, this is why the other thing, along with my caffeine and giving up smoking, I am gonna, because it's just easier to have shakes. I've got all the stuff for that, so I'm gonna try and do that. Because then mentally, it's just putting myself in a better space. And just have something light. It's hard though because I've got to cook for my mum. And even like I wasn't even hungry when I ate that sausage. This is the stupidest thing. I wasn't even hungry. Was not even hungry. But I'd had a cigarette outside, sat down on the sofa, watched about 5 minutes of the news, and I thought, oh, I've got some sausages left in the oven. I'll eat them. But why? I'm not even hungry. Oh, you know what I mean? This is my point. It's a constant battle. You're not on your own. Everyone goes through it in their own little, unique, special ways. But we are all fighting battles with our own inner demons, firstly. How we get up and get out the door is a miracle. We're here, guys. Woo! Like, serious. Warriors. I'm in this zone now. I can't believe I've been going on this long. I'm just going to play this song for you because I'm feeling like this is the right mood. Oh, I have got some, before I play it, I'll just do this quickly. So, Myanmar, right? Going back to this is to do with the meth in Thailand. It's a massive problem. A really high percentage of the population are on meth. And there's 2 grades of it. There's like a cheap one and a really dangerous cheap version. And they're using women and children as mules. And everyone's on it, and it's really dangerous. And there's loads of synthetic drugs. These are a massive fucking problem, and we need to sort it. So the Thailand is here. If you look on the map, when they're talking about the drug, and it's actually got worse just recently. And if you look at where they are, it's called the Golden Triangle. And do you know where's on there? Myanmar. And then I suddenly remembered the Queen of the South. You know when the general does the coup and takes over, and he becomes the drug. I was like, I put money on it. Yeah, I put money that is why he's done it. So he's in charge, so he can control the flow of these drugs into the Golden Triangle. So because it's suddenly influxed since he's been in charge. Ding ding. So any ethical hackers out there fancy going through the old general's bank statements? Let's bring that fucker down as well. So yeah, so 100%. I'm telling you now. Telling you, I put money on it. Right. The other thing. Oh my god, I'm going on. I'm so sorry. It's 45 minutes. Ooh. Right. Brexit, Europe, please take us back. We love you. Please don't leave us out here on our own. Like, what? Honestly, Brexit, all it has done is increased bureaucracy, increased costs, increased time, effort, problems. There just doesn't seem to be any benefits to Brexit whatsoever, as far as I can see. Other than going, oh, we're so sovereign. No, we ain't. Do you know what? I might go to that tomorrow on a more somber note before I leave. Or maybe I should talk about that tomorrow as well. I've gone on a lot. I'll leave those for tomorrow, those little gems. And I will play us out with one of the classics from the 90s. Just bear with me. Oh. Here we go. Oh my god, look at those wrinkles. Look at what COVID has done to me. I need to get those. Oh, I tell you, there's some Euler. Look, sorry if I have not pronounced that correctly. I need some of those. Sort my face out. I don't think I look too bad for 39 though. Do you know what I'm saying? Damn straight. I used to love this song. Well, I still do, obviously. Where's my microphone? 1 2 1 2. Walk my crown, wear my shoes, talk like that, I'm an angel and thing. Can only get better. Can only get better. Now I found you. Yes. Yes, fam. Got it. Show me prejudice every, and you show me how. Maybe I should. I guess I'll learn. Maybe I'll learn sign language tomorrow. In a different light, in a different form, I found the cause. And I think that you be my girl. So teach me to walk your back, wear your shoes, talk like that, I'll be an angel and thing. Can only get better. Can only get better. So, now I've boogied around a little bit. Thanks, Doreen. Making dreams come true. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that. Slap. Right. Love you. High fives. Go world. We have got this. Listen. Hope you have a lovely day, evening, afternoon. If you have any stories, any evidence, any corruption that you would like me to expose, please send it my way. I'm having a ball, to be honest. So yeah, but if there's anyone I can help out, I will, and gladly do so. The more prepubescent solutions get put in my face, the more, solutions I can come up with. So let's go. Love you.